What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Die Hard MMA podcast. I'm your host, as always, your boy Clint, and this is the UFC 286 Sharp Action Report. We are joined by my guy Andrew from Superbook Sports. We're going to take a peek across the counter. We're going to get the word on what we've got for sharp action, maybe the public action. He's going to help us out with some information. Andrew, how you feeling today, man?
I'm all right, man. It's crazy over here at the book today. I can't do the podcast from my usual spot because it's so crazy out there with March Madness. But I'm excited for this early card. Get up early tomorrow and get to watch some fights. It's going to be a great card, but obviously some of the handles being focused on the March Madness. But yeah, it should still be an amazing card this week.
Yeah, man, this is a great card. And I mean, for the UFC fans, it's actually kind of nice that it's flying a little bit under the radar with all the March Madness going on. But, sorry you're in the dungeon today for the show. We'll get you back to your perch next time out. Everybody, make sure you show some love. Give Andrew a follow on social media. Make sure you go check out Superbook Sports and make sure you follow them. I'll get our little nice logo up in the corner going there. Hit the like button while you're here. And folks, let's just dive straight on into it. I am chomping at the bit to hear what's going on in these fights. First fight of the night, Veronica Hardy making her long-awaited UFC return. She is taking on Juliana Miller, who comes from us from The Ultimate Fighter. And I think this has been probably one-way traffic, but I can't wait to hear what you see on your side of the desk.
Yeah, so we opened this one up at $4 on Juliana Miller. It's sitting at $4.50 here in Nevada. Nothing too exciting to give you guys on this one. We've been basically just getting one-way action on the favorite. A lot of parlay money on the favorite. Not too much to give you on the total here in this fight. But yeah, there hasn't been much resistance on the dog yet, and it's just one-way action so far.
Okay. I'm an insane person, and I might be that guy that bites on the dog, but I know I'm very much on an island there, man. I'll be sipping Mai Tais and have myself a coconut or something because I'll be out there all by myself if I do make that move. This is definitely one that would not be a very popular underdog pick. I'm not surprised. Do you see a lot of parlay action though with Miller involved?
Definitely, yeah. There's been a good amount of parlay action, and after last week's trends, I'm hoping we can keep a few more dogs going in this card. So, I mean, hopefully we can get a dog or two early. That would be nice because this year has been tough with all these favorites. And last week was the first week there was a little bounce back for the dogs. So that was a great week for the book.
Yeah, finally got the all-important parlay buster the last time out. So it's coming, man. The favorites can't hold forever. I think you'll get a couple this week. Ludovic Klein taking on Jai Herbert, the next fight here. I personally lean to Ludovic Klein, but the line is getting just a smidgen out of hand for me as far as how much I actually want to lay with this guy. What do you see on your side of the desk?
Yeah, so we opened this one at 60 on Klein. We took some respected bets on Klein, and it's raised it up to about 190 right now. There hasn't been too much resistance on Herbert, but there hasn't been too much action on this fight either, so I'm not going to say that we got hammered either way. And there's not much on the total either, but yeah, the line has moved from 160 to 190, and it's been pushed by a risky action.
Okay. That kind of checks out to me. Like I said, I'd be playing the Klein side if anything. I just don't know if I want to bite at minus 185, 190. That's maybe a little expensive for me. I'm very excited about this next fight on a personal level. I'm not sure how popular it is for betting, though. JoJo Calderwood, or I guess Wood at this point in her career, taking on Luana Carolina. Has there been anything interesting on this one?
Yeah, so we opened this one up at 160 on Wood, and it's sitting 180 here in Las Vegas. Same thing. I think some of the guys expected the line to close a little bit higher than it opened, so they bet the favorite early, and it's pushed the line up. There hasn't been too much resistance, not too much handle on this fight. Yeah, respected bets early came in on Calderwood.
Okay, good to know. Jake Hadley and Malcolm Gordon. With all these big chalky price tags, this has got to be one of the chalkiest, man. I can't figure there's much love for Gordon out there in the market.
Yeah, no, this one's a crazy one because we opened it up at 210 on the favorite. It's sitting $4 now here in Vegas, and it really has been just one-way action. And there's a lot of parlay money on the favorite. So yeah, that's where we're sitting here.
Yeah, that makes sense to me. Jake Hadley seems almost like the free square this week, and that's a dangerous attitude to have. And I'm the guy who's saying it. So
Yeah. I feel the same way, and there hasn't been much resistance, which is always like when you see a number shoot from 210 to $4 and you're getting no resistance, there's something a little fishy there, and it's got to make, as somebody who follows the lines, a little interested on the dog. It has to.
You think eventually there's a point where you bite and take a little bit back the other way, right?
Exactly.
It's wild. I can't wait to see that fight. All right, man. Dusko Todorovic welcoming Christian Duncan, the first Duncan on the card here. It looks like Christian Duncan has been the favorite throughout the week. I tend to agree with that. I kind of think, UFC debut, though, Todorovic is not an easy fight, maybe a bit of a stiff test for him. I can't get to minus 210. I feel like I'm doing the thing where I'm picking Duncan to win, but I wouldn't be surprised at all if you had some nibbles there on the dog.
Yeah, so we're a little bit different where you're at. If it's at 210, we're sitting minus 230 here. So the price has pushed up in Vegas a little bit even further on the favorites. So this is another one where there hasn't been too much resistance, which is kind of surprising to me because one guy is the veteran, like you said, who's been in the UFC. I mean, he's had his ups and downs, but for a first fight, I mean, I feel like it's a tough test. Not that I'm saying the favorite can't get it done, but yeah, there hasn't been much resistance. This is one where we did get a big bet on the over as well. We took a rather large bet on the over at even money, 1.5 rounds. So yeah, that's where we're sitting right now. We're needing the under and the dog.
I actually like that overlook. At over 1.5 is a spot that I've been kind of staring at all week and considering it myself. Just the way Duncan fights, he's slower, he plays the outside, he doesn't rush anything. And while Dusko's been knocked out by a couple of guys, if you're not actively pursuing the knockout, if you're willing to remain patient, he's gone 15 minutes hard before. I could see this thing getting over that 1.5 myself.
Okay, I like it.
All right. So the next fight, long-awaited return of Lerone Murphy taking on Gabriel Santos. And interesting tidbit here for you on Lerone Murphy is that he hit the like button on the video. What do you see over on your side of things, Andrew?
He opened up at a 160 favorite, Murphy, and now we're sitting 180 here in Las Vegas. There was it was the same, which is the same as the respected action early. It moved the line. There hasn't been resistance. There's been good two-way at the price we're at. Yeah, nothing pushing it any further than 180, but yeah, that's what we're getting here in Vegas. Let me see the total. If we have anything on the total. Yeah, not much on the total either.
Okay. Yeah, this is one where man, I'm a big fan of Lerone Murphy. I've been, backing him and going to war with him for a long time. So I wanted to just auto bet on Murphy, but I actually like this Gabriel Santos kid. He seems very legit to me. Coming in on short notice is a tall order, but man, this is going to be a good fight. I'm probably just going to pass on this one and watch because I think it's going to be highly entertaining.
Yeah, both of these guys are undefeated, right?
Yeah. Murphy's got the one draw on his record, but both of them undefeated. It's going to be big time for somebody to lose their O here.
Yeah, I'm excited for that one.
Me too, man. All right, Rafael Filho coming to the UFC, making his debut against the monster Muhammad Mokaev himself. Another one-way steam type of situation where Mokaev is the next coming. I expect all the parlays have him lined up in there as well. Anybody nibbling on the other side?
There hasn't been much resistance on this one. That's for sure. We opened Mokaev at $750, and we're sitting $9 here right now in Vegas. this is the same thing. I mean, I kind of say that every time we do these podcasts, these big favorites, you can't open them high enough. And one of these times, I hope one of them loses. But like this year, it hasn't been. I guess there was the one.
You got Shevchenko out of there.
Shevchenko, yeah, that was the one big favorite that lost this year. But yeah, we're sitting $9 here, and there's been really no resistance. We took a bet on the under, but nothing super notable to give you.
Both those make sense to me as well. All right, man. Yanal Ashmoz taking on Sam Patterson, a double debutante situation where we've got another big chalky favorite. This one's super interesting to me, and I'm curious if you've seen any action that we should know about on it.
Yeah, we took a little bit of action on the dog in this one. Where did we open this one up? Yeah, we opened this one up at $2.80. It had a little bit of steam, shot up to $3. Now it's back down to $2.80. We took a small bet on the dog, but nothing super notable that I would write home about. But yeah, we obviously put up a good line because it's sitting where we opened it. So I'm pretty happy about that.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I took a nibble on that dog myself, man. I got him at plus 240 earlier in the week, and I just don't think that much of Patterson at this point, especially when you're getting two debutantes, neither of which who have been proven at a high level. Give me the guy with the giant plus next to his name. I think this line is just a little bit too wide. We'll see. He may lose a split decision or something like that. He might get choked out. Maybe Patterson's legit, but I'm not ready to trust him at minus 275. And it was too wide for me to ignore. If it was plus 175 or plus 160 something, I'd just leave it alone. But at plus 240, I felt like I had to
get a nibble. I like it.
Yep.
I might be interested in that one as well. I think that's probably a pretty good bet.
Yeah, and Chris in our chat pointing out that you guys got to Hugov as well. So, that's two.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's true. That's true.
That split decision, man, that lit the internet on fire. People were not happy about that one.
And he missed weight by a bunch, right? He was like 6 pounds off of weight or something crazy.
Brutal, man. To Hugov, he got cut for that. That makes sense to me. All right, maybe the only actual pick'em on the card, man. Omar Morales and Chris Duncan, the other Duncan. This line, it looks like, has been kind of ping-ponging back and forth all week, and right, it kind of makes sense, right? Like the one pick'em on the entire card is the one people are tug-of-warring as far as sides and totals go. I'd love to hear what you guys see on your side of things. Has it been two-way, or is there anybody respected coming in?
Yeah, this has been a fun one because both sides have been favored it at one point in the week. So the line really has jumped around. We opened it at a pick. It was sitting a pick this morning. We took a respected bet on Duncan. So now Duncan's sitting as a small favorite here in Nevada. But yeah, this has been a fun one, just watching this line ping pong around, and both of these guys have been favored. And yeah, we this morning pushed the needle in Duncan's direction, and that's where we're sitting here in Vegas.
Gotcha. Okay. That's what's going on here. Connor Mack, my guy, one of the Pub Sports Radio personalities. Shout out to you, my friend. Next up, Jack Shore, Makwan Amirkhani. A very intriguing fight to me here. Another spot where Jack Shore is just a big chalky favorite for you guys. What's going on with this one?
Yeah, so this one, we opened at $4.50 on Jack Shore. It shot up to $5. One of our sharper UFC bettors did come in on the dog on this one at plus $4. So it didn't really shift the line too much, just because, I mean, you're going to write all this favorite money. There's so much money on the parlays for the favorite. So it's not really changing the market necessarily, but I haven't seen anybody with a higher price than $4. So that seems like about where I believe the line will close. Maybe it will steam up tomorrow a little bit more on Shore, but that was a notable bet that I'm definitely keeping my eye on. And also we took a bet on the over in this fight.
Okay. I don't mind that over one bit. That's another one that I've been looking at myself, where I think maybe Makwan can at least hang in there if he's losing. The over 1.5 seems interesting to me in that spot too. Next up, Roman Dolidze taking on Marvin Vettori, another minus 300 favorite. At least the number's getting a little smaller here for this one. I kind of lean towards the favorite in this spot. I know this is a very popular dog recently because of all the action that he's had. He's pulled the upset several times. But I got to wonder what you guys think of this one. Has there been anything across the other side of the desk we should know about?
Yeah, you're definitely right that it seems like people are interested in the dog. The book definitely needs the favorite right now. I wouldn't say there's been anything too respected on this one. We opened Vettori at minus 270. We're sitting 280 here, and we've been getting a lot of dog action on this fight, like I said, and it hasn't shifted the line, if that means anything to you. I definitely think I think Vettori should take care of this one, but yeah, I've been wrong before, but this seems like a pretty good spot for him, and I'm kind of surprised there hasn't been more talk of this fight, because to me this is like one of the best fights on the card for sure. Awesome.
I agree.
Fight.
I'm right there with you. I love this fight. I can't wait to see this one. I mean, we're getting close to title eliminator type of conversations here, right? Like with the heater Dolidze's on, he's 1 or 2 wins away from a crack. And Marvin Vettori, he's been hovering around that top 5 basically his whole career. You know, if he derails a guy like Dolidze, that says a lot too. So yeah, I'm with you. I think this is a much bigger fight than it's being made out to be. And I like what you said about the money coming in on Dolidze and not affecting the line, man. I think this is a favorite spot personally.
Yeah, and in the back of my head, I remember what you said earlier when we did the To Be Champion podcast, that it might be worth a sprinkle on Vettori. And I mean, he's right there. I mean, at a certain point, he probably would be undeniable if Adesanya was to lose again. Who do you throw into that next title shot? I mean, there's a few other guys, but he's right there, man. And in a matchup against Pereira, I think he has a lot of things that can test Pereira in ways he hasn't been tested yet. So I mean, if you did get on a flyer, if you got in on a flyer with him, you got to be feeling decent about it.
Unfortunately, man, I didn't get it down, and you guys appear to have pulled the future markets here, so I'm going to have to hunt around elsewhere and see what the number looks like, because honestly, if I'm picking him to win this fight, he might get a crack at the belt before the end of the year. You know, it might be worth that sprinkle we talked about.
Yeah, we'll get those back up after this card. It just, with all these new fights getting announced, it's hard to keep track of all of them, and then the fight card coming up. We'll see what happens here, and we'll adjust the prices, and we'll get those back up for the customers again.
Sure. I'm sure they'll come back around. To be honest with you, though, man, I kind of want the number before he gets the win on Saturday, if I can find it.
I know.
You guys are too smart about it, pulling it down. All right. Next up, we got, you know what? Maybe the second most tug of war fight on this card. Jennifer Maia, Casey O'Neill. Casey coming back after a super long layoff. Jennifer Maia, the staple of this top 10 here in this weight class. Very interesting on the numbers. Casey O'Neill, a decent-sized favorite for somebody coming off a long layoff and a big injury. I'm curious what you think of this fight personally, and then what do you guys have as far as action goes?
So this is an interesting one. For me, it's tough because I have people that I respect that like both sides. If I was to bet, I think I would take a shot on the dog here for sure, just because of the way I've been seeing the bets come in. We opened this line at 175 on O'Neill. It's sitting 170, and there's been a ton of action on O'Neill parlay money, and it really hasn't adjusted the line very much. So if I was going to take a shot, I would take a shot on the dog here. I do think the favorite should be the favorite, but at a plus 150 price, I don't hate the dog here.
Yeah, man, this is definitely, it seems almost like the public versus square spot of the card, right? Like everybody who I know that I think of or consider sharp is playing Maia. And then everybody who I know that's just kind of that's not true. I don't want to call them casuals. There's a lot of people I know and respect also that are on the dog here, but it seems like the public perception of, well, Casey should just run through this girl. I don't think I'm betting it. I'm definitely scared of Jennifer Maia. I'm going to pick Casey O'Neill. I'll say she's good enough to come back and get the win, but you got to show me after that kind of a layoff and an injury. I don't think I can get there at minus 165.
Yeah, it is. This is a big spot for her for sure. And I think she's going to get tested. There
For
hasn't
sure.
been too much on the total either. So the total
And she
is
blocked me
sitting
on Twitter
at,
last time I picked against her, so I think I'm just going to stay off this one.
oh, wow. That's crazy.
Shout out Casey O'Neill. Gotta love it. All right. Bryan Barberena taking on Gunnar Nelson. This one, another solid favorite here in this spot. And I can't wrap my brain around it, man. Like, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, I think Gunnar Nelson really should win this fight. But Barberena seems to show up in these spots where you least expect him. So it's another one that I feel like maybe just a little bit wide. Like, Gunny should win.
Yeah.
But I'm very cautious about it. What do you think on your side?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you. The price opened up at $3 on Nelson. It's $3.80. There was some sharper respected action early, but I mean, I think they are just anticipating that the line was not going to close $3 and it was going to steam in that direction, and maybe they'll play it elsewhere and hedge out of the bet. I'm not too sure on that, but they got good value. To me, it doesn't really make sense for a guy who's not very active to be in this big of a favorite. I definitely think I think Barberena has a good shot here, man. And yeah, I don't really understand this price, but usually when it's like that, I'm probably wrong about it. But yeah, if I had to bet anything, I definitely think Barberena has a good shot here. Let me see what the book has.
All right. While you're doing that, Steven in the chat asking any props on this one. Where does Inside the Distance sit? You know, at Superbook, you got to pick knockout or sub. The sub is plus 105, and that seems like his most direct path to victory here. But if you want to roll the dice, Gunnar Nelson by KO TKO is plus 750 is what I'm looking at. And those seem interesting to me as well. Bryan Barberena, you know, working his way back into this thing and winning a decision is plus 950. Or if you think he can get that finish, it's plus 650 for Barberena TKO. Frankly, you know what? I love my long shots. I don't think Barb is ever submitting Gunnar Nelson. That's 16-1 if you feel like pulling that trigger. I did say that about, you know, Grant and Rafael Assunção, and then he pulled off the round 3 sub. So
yeah,
what do I know,
that was
man?
so crazy, man.
That was insane.
Crazy. Yeah, the book was devastated. We were on the back. Are you kidding me? Because he was up the first 2 rounds. He won on all the judges' scorecards, right? The first 2 rounds, right?
It was a clear Assunção decision. I mean, even if it was 1-1 going into 3, round 3 up until that point was one-way traffic Assunção. Like, he was gonna win that fight.
Yeah, that one stung us. I know we were bummed back here. But yeah, there's not much to give you here. There's a ton of parlay money. It really has been one-way trick on Gunnar Nelson. A larger bet on the dog, nothing too respected, but we did get a little bit of resistance when we went up to $4 on Gunnar Nelson, and yeah, I mean it's just been one-way traffic with this parlay money.
I hear you. All right, let's see here. Main event time, everybody. Do us a favor, hit the like button if you can. Kamaru Usman taking on Leon Edwards for the 3rd time for it all, the rubber match. Minus 240 on Usman, a bit of a discount from last time around. Leon Edwards, the seeded champ, disrespectfully, plus 200, the underdog. What do you think over there, man?
Well, you skipped a very exciting fight, so we can do that one next. But
I did. The co-main event. I am so sorry, everybody. Let's walk it back. Fiziev and Justin Gaethje. My bad. Very similar price tags, though. Fiziev is a minus 230, plus 195, the underdog Justin Gaethje. Very similar feel here on this one, man. What do you think about the co-main event, and what have you guys seen?
Yeah, so we opened up Fiziev at minus 250. It shot down a bit. We were getting some money on Gaethje early, and it shot down to 210, and now it's sitting back up at 240. So there's been really good two-way traffic on this fight. Yeah, but it looks like where we opened the price is right around where it's going to close. We opened at 250. We're sitting 240. Yeah, really just good two-way handle on this fight. Not too much on the total. But yeah, this should be an absolute banger. I cannot wait for this fight.
I love this fight. Cannot wait for this one myself. Good to know there's two-way action on that one. Personally, I'm in the boat of picking Fiziev and again probably passing because man, like Justin Gaethje, how can you turn down Justin Gaethje at plus 200? That's exactly the kind of price you want to play, for your boy.
Yeah, I mean, and this is a big step up in competition for Fiziev. I mean, RDA is awesome, but I think Gaethje might be on a little bit different level, and he's a little bit younger than RDA is. So
Agreed.
I'm excited for this
Maybe
one. This is a great.
Maybe a tougher stylistic matchup as well. It's a good fight. It's a real good fight.
Yeah.
All right, now let's go ahead and get back to where we were, man. Kamaru Usman, Leon Edwards for your main event. Already kind of teed it up there for you. What do you see?
Yeah, so this is one that we opened up early or late last year, and right after their last fight, and one of our sharpest bettors, I would say our sharpest bettor, came in on the dog here and bet Leon Edwards at plus 210. There's been a ton of two-way action on this fight, a ton of parlay money on Usman. The book currently needs the dog, and I think we will end up needing the dog pretty big here. But yeah. Great handle fight.
Yeah. The main event's always got to be the good stuff, man. But love hearing the sharpest bettor over there is riding with me. I'm also on the Leon Edwards side of things. Locked that bet in myself a little earlier in the week. Snagged a plus 210, and it settled in at plus 200. So I feel like just little, that little 10 cents, I'm just going to snipe it and keep it in my pocket. So I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah. It always feels good when you get the closing value. I felt bad for you last week. You had one that you were on early that the line just kept what was that fight? It just
don't remind me about Dumas.
Dumas, yeah. That was a crazy movement on that fight.
Andrew, I was this close to arbing out of it. It's one of those things where I'm like, I could put I made a big bet because I knew the line was off. And then when the line swung, I was like, I could do like a half-size bet on the other way and just lock up a free roll. Nah, I'm going to diamond hands it. I'm just going to ride this thing out. And of course, he gets absolutely smoked when I decide to ride with that and the closing line value. I get to hold the trophy and nothing else at the end of the day.
Exactly. I know that's always the most frustrating feeling is when you feel like you did the work, you read the way the line was going to go, and then it doesn't matter. But brutal. Yeah, you were on top of that one early.
Absolutely.
This should be a good fight, man. The way they've been talking, it's like I'm so excited for this one. I'm kind of sad that it's going to be so early in the day, but I'm absolutely excited for that main event.
Me too. It's going to be tough, man. And with the early start coming down off the high of this main event is going to be rough to spend our evening watching, I don't know, a shitty hockey game that I don't care nearly as much about. Like it's going to be tough. All right, everybody, that is the Sharp Action Report here for UFC 286. Like I said, this is my guy Andrew from Superbook Sports. He's on Twitter. Hit him up. Give him a follow. Make sure you check out Superbook Sports. Follow their social media as well. I'm always working with them and, doing things. And we've got good promos and stuff like that. The Knockout promo makes its return here for UFC 286. And, of course, right after we wrap this up, we are going to do the undefeated post-weigh-in show. I'm going to come right back. We'll go live again. So everybody sit tight here for me for about 5 minutes. I got to set the stream up, and then I'm coming right back on for that show. Andrew, thank you so much for doing this with us, man. Is there anything you want to say before we sign out?
Follow me on Twitter if you haven't. I'll get those UFC boosts up tomorrow, or probably tonight before those early fights tomorrow. Good luck on everyone's bets. I hope this card turns out to be as amazing as I think it would be. Real
quick, before I let you go, Andrew, I'm going to put you on the spot. Mm-hmm. Who's the parlay buster? Who do you think comes through and wrecks everybody's parlays tomorrow?
I mean, if I had to choose one, I would say Rocky.
All right.
I think Rocky Edwards gets it done.
And one final closing thought for you, Andrew. I've been poking around a little bit, and I'm seeing Marvin Vettori to be champion by 2024 at 50-1 floating out there.
Yeah, that seems tasty. Is that at the end of 2024? Is that like the same way we have it at the end of 2023?
So the way they have it written is men's middleweight champion by the end of year 2023. So like,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I think
So the
you
same
guys have
yeah,
it
the same
written
weight.
champion on 1/1/2024.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yeah.
Same thing.
They used to
But
do a
50 to
fight
1.
card they used to do a fight card on New Year's, but they haven't been doing that anymore. So
I know, right? What happened to the New Year's Eve card?
yeah, they used to do that all the time. So we were planning for that, but it seems like they've kind of gotten away from that.
I love
maybe they'll do
and
it again.
miss the New Year's Eve card. I love that fight card. I hope they get back to doing that now that COVID's kind of in the rearview mirror. But 50 to 1, man, I may just taste just a little bit.
It definitely won't be that price if he wins this fight. It can't be.
Exactly.
It can't be. Because who else is really up there that can get that? I mean, Bo Nickel he's not there yet. He's got to win a few more fights. As much as I love him,
his grappling
he's not
might be
yet.
there, but he'll get killed in the striking right now. So
right.
Man, okay, so just little bonus content here at the end of the show for everybody talking, middleweight champion holders here, middle and welterweight. What we've got is ahead of him, Paulo Costa, that ain't happening. Jared Cannonier, he just got beat, that ain't happening. Brendan Allen looks hot right now, but I don't think he's getting a title shot over Vettori at this point. Dricus also looks hot, doubt he's getting a title shot. Dolidze, who, if Vettori derails on Saturday, he will jump. They've actually got Bo Nickel listed here at 15 to 1, which I'm like, that. I'm sorry, folks. That ain't happening in 2023. Not after what we just saw. He needs some seasoning in the striking realm before he's ready for that shit. Definitely. Rob Whittaker, that'd be kind of the one that I'd be worried about. Khamzat Chimaev, if he is moving up to middleweight as opposed to sticking around at welterweight, he absolutely gets the title shot first. Then it's Alex and Israel. So to me, man, we're talking Rob Whittaker, and then if Vettori wins his next fight, those are the top two challengers in this weight class for whoever gets the belt after Pereira and Adesanya. And let's face it, if they go with, Adesanya, neither of these guys are getting a title shot. If Adesanya gets his belt back, they're not running it back with either of these guys. So you kind of need Pereira to win it. But at 50 to 1, I'm like, I don't think Dricus, Allen, or Cannonier are going to get that call before Vettori does.
No, I'm with you. I think 50 to 1 is definitely value, and I can promise you if he wins this fight, I will not be opening it up anywhere near 50 to 1. So.
I was going to say, so let's assume, let's just pretend he gets the win on Saturday over Dolidze, who's higher than him as far as the short list of title challengers goes. Does he get 12 to 1? Like where do you put him at that point?
I mean, I was thinking somewhere between 15 and 18, maybe 20.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely got to be at least half is right.
It's happening.
Now.
It's happening.
Seems pretty high.
I'm gonna end this stream, set up the next stream, and then sprinkle that bet right before I go live. That's what's happening.
Okay, I like it.
Andrew, my friend, thank you so much. It's always a great time doing this show with you. We'll wish you guys luck as far as the insanity that is college basketball right now. And I guess we'll see you in 2 weeks. We got UFC 287 right around the corner. Oh, we lost my guy. The basement internet is claiming him. Oh, he's back.
I'm back. I'm back. Sorry about
All right,
that.
man. I'm saying we'll see you UFC 287 in 2 weeks for another episode of the Sharp Action Report. Thank you for your time today, my guy. I appreciate it.
Right on. Can't wait for that one.
All right, everybody. Good luck with your action tomorrow, and I'll see you in about 10 minutes. I'm going to set up the stream for the Undefeated Post Weigh-In Show, and we'll be right back here live again. We'll see you in a few.